Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites. Today we're going to talk about two daily planner pads, two daily planning or planner pads. One is from InkWELL Press and it's called the Daily Docket, and one is from Plum Paper and it's called Daily Things. Okay, we're going to talk about each one of these. I have tried each one out, and I'm going to tell you what I like or don't like about each one. First, I kind of want to touch on that. I do fine with having daily planning pads or a daily planner that's undated, like the new InkWELL Press one, which I have a review on my site about, because I don't use a daily planner for my extended planning, for my future planning, or for my monthly planning. I just use a daily planner for looking at my weekly planner and my weekly list and saying, what do I need to get done today? What appointments do I have today? What things are pressing that needs to be done today? So I do fine with just using a notebook or a planner pad like this also. And I'm also loving the InkWELL Press undated also. Okay, and I will have a whole nother video coming out that I'm going to highlight all the daily planners I've reviewed this year and ones that I've used, and just we're going to talk all about daily planners. But this video is going to just focus on these two pads for people who don't need a daily planner but just sometimes would like a daily pad on busy days to supplement or add to their day. Of course, you can grab any legal pad and use it for something like this and divide it up into your own categories. And I have done that many times myself. Or you can use any little notebook or spiral to do the same thing. But let's review these two. Number one, InkWELL Press is a little bit smaller. And I will say, I tend to want a little more room than this. So the InkWELL Press one is a tiny bit small for me. I will list in here the number of pages. I will look that up and put it in the video. The number of pages versus the price on these. I think they were both $12 if I remember correctly. And I think they both had around 50 sheets, but I cannot remember. Okay, so InkWELL Press is a little bit small for me. InkWELL Press only comes in this one color. That's it. This is your color choice. Plum Paper comes in 3 or 4 color choices. This is their most muted, like gray one. And I got this color particularly just because I thought my teenage son might want to use it sometimes on busy days or weekends when he's trying to plan out his day. And so I couldn't get any like more girly color. So I wanted to make it where either one of us could grab it. Okay, so let's get into each one. Let's talk about each one separately a little bit. Okay, the Plum Paper has you divided up, well, we'll have them next to each other still so we can look at that, by morning, afternoon, evening, and so does the Daily Docket from InkWELL Press, morning, afternoon, evening. They have tasks, they have to-dos, so that's very similar. Now, InkWELL Press then does errands, and they don't have that in Plum Paper. They put today's top priorities, 1, 2, 3, tomorrow's action items, 1, 2, 3. And then they both have a notes section at the bottom. And in the InkWELL Press notes section, you have 8 water droplets so that you can track your water. So I'm going to kind of give you a close-up of both of these and talk about the different parts. This is not big enough for me to write my date in at all. And so I just usually X off my day, and then I write my date right here, right there, because that's just a big space I can write it in. I do use this to list my to-dos, but then usually I kind of take my to-dos because I usually don't have an appointment on every day. And if I do, it's like one appointment. And so I will take my to-dos and I will kind of spread them out to what I think I'm going to do in the morning, afternoon, or evening. And then I really love this on the Plum Paper pad, today's top priorities, because then I look at my to-dos and I say, what 3 things do I have to get done today? And I'm big on that because I have a whole video on my 1, 2, 3 productivity tip. So if you watch that, you know I am big on the 1, 2, 3. That's kind of how I organize my whole day. I pick my top 3, and then when those are done, I go, what are the next 3 things that I have to get done today? And then I focus on those. And then I say, what are the next 3? And I won't even let myself go beyond these 3 until they are done. because if they must get done, then I just need to focus on those. So I love that today's top priorities. I really wish that was moved to the top of this, above the to-dos, like it was at the top. But I love that it's on there. I love tomorrow's action items because during the day, so many times I'm already taking things off my list and saying, I'm going to do this tomorrow. And so I just stick it in there, or something I think of for tomorrow. I have it right there. So at the end of the night, when I'm going to make my list for the next day, which is, I usually do it at night. Every once in a while I don't, and then I do it in the morning, but I try to do it at night. I look at those items, and then I can go to my next day and go ahead and make my list for the morning. And I love having the extra note section down here because during the day, there are always extra notes I need to write down. I love how it's shaded in because it kind of separates it from the rest of my page. It separates my mind from the list of the day and the rest of the page. So I love that. This daily pad has actually worked really well for me. I have actually no major complaints about it. It's about the right size for me. And the only thing I would say is I want my top priorities at the top. But other than that, that pad has worked really well for me. And it's really nice, substantial paper. Okay. And so is the InkWELL press. They both have really substantial paper. So it makes it a lot more fun to write on than just a legal pad from the store. And it's nice to have your day organized and broken up that way. And then on a day when you're not that busy or you don't have that much to do, or maybe you're so overwhelmed you don't even pull yourself together to make a list like this, you're not wasting paper. Like, it's not a daily planner with the date on it. And so you're only using it on those days you need it. Also, because it's a tear off, if you're going to do a whole bunch of errands that day, you can make your page list and tear it off if all your errands and different things are listed on it. So I love that option. Like I said, InkWELL Press is a little bit small for me because I really need all the writing room that's on the Plum paper, and you would think that's not that big of a difference. Let's see. It's not even a full inch, you guys. Well, it's almost, but it's not. So it's really just like 3/4 of an inch. But it makes a difference. It makes it feel smaller when I'm writing. And I tend to like to write bigger and longer things. So sometimes I have to use 2 lines to write out one task, and that's okay. Things I love about the InkWELL press are I love that there's a big enough space up here for my date. Like, I don't have to deviate from, there's no way I'm writing my date that tiny. I like it written big. I like their days of the week. I just check it off or exit off or circle it too. I do feel like this is a lot of wasted space up here. I feel like she could have made that smaller. Like, I don't need the daily docket written that big because I need the real estate on my pad of paper. I do pretty much the same thing on here because my tasks are like my to-dos and morning, afternoon, evening. So write out my tasks, and then I kind of divvy up if there's no appointments that I need to write down here, then I divvy up what I think I'm going to get done in those times. I don't have a lot of errands that I run every day unless it's a day off school or it's a weekend day because I homeschool my youngest. And so I really have to try to do my errands on our light day of school on Fridays or mainly on Saturdays. So I don't fill this up. What I usually do, use this as my top 3 things. And then when those are done, I'll leave the next for like my next top 3. What am I working on next? Type of thing. So that kind of took this place of today's top priorities, and tomorrow's items, I would scribble some down there too. And then notes, love having the notes just like here because there's always notes to scribble. I don't keep track of my water consumption, so I don't need that, but I think it's a great addition for those people that do and want to have it on there. So I think both of these are really great. Let me show you some up closes of this. I actually like the design aesthetics of the InkWELL press better. But like I said, I think the bigger size and actually the function of how the items are written out in the Plum paper probably work better for me, even though I like the way the InkWELL press looks better, just prettier to me. But that's my feelings and thoughts after using both of these for several days. And I will definitely use them up. I'll use them because I'm not just tied to a dated daily planner, but I do make a plan for my day every single day. So I love these options. I think they're wonderful options. And I'd love to know if you do something like this, if you just use your own tablet, if you guys have ever bought these daily tablets, or if you use a daily planner. I'd love to hear down in the comments below. I love to hear ideas on how other people are planning, and it always opens my eyes to something new. All right, guys, thanks for watching today. Have a great day and happy planning till next time.